Okay. I'm gonna pour out 2 numbers on your hand.
Okay. 2 and 6. Is that 2?
Maybe, or 11 maybe?
Yeah, 11 and 6. My painting looks racist all of a sudden.
What now? All right. I got a 5 and an 8.
Okay.
Well, that was a fun experiment. That's it.
That's it? Okay. I was like, what's gonna happen?
Septic bowel look. Septic bowels. Okay, so when we hung out in Spring Hill and got them damn tacos, what's that place called again?
Cali Burrito, baby.
That's right, Cali Burrito. Yeah.
That's the spot, dude.
That's cool. He was stoked, man. I think he can tell that you really respect what he's doing. I think that's cool. That's
yeah, I mean, he's San Diego born and raised, so it's like,
he knows the deal.
You know, me being a connoisseur of San Diego style, Southern California style Mexican food, I was very doubtful.
fair enough.
And especially because, dude, I live in Spring Hill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're not gonna expect.
Not a lot of flavor down there.
You know, yeah. And we're not very cultured down there, if you will. Not yet, at least. It's up and coming.
Yeah. Dude.
But it's legit, bro. Like, if you don't know what a Cali burrito is, it's a, you know, for those of you that are watching. It's carne asada, French fries, and sour cream in a tortilla.
Sounds
so
good
it's basically, you know, just like, but you know, Southern California style carne asada is different than, like, you'll know, like, if you go to like Tito's or something, you're gonna just get like
over there by Kroger.
Yeah, you're just gonna get like chopped up steak, which isn't a bad thing, but it's not carne asada, right?
Right.
So, anyways, we've got that place in Spring Hill, and for the first, like, I would say maybe 7 or 8 months of them being open, I kept them in business. You know,
nice,
like,
dude.
I was eating there every single day,
That's
dude.
Cool.
So this is a funny story, actually.
Hit it.
My buddy Cody, he's in a band called Wage War, and he moved to Tennessee. Wage War plays like heavy music, but he moved to Tennessee.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, he really loves pop country music and wanted
nice.
to like pursue writing that and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so we had an idea one day, just kind of joking around or whatever, to write like a pop country song about what it's like living in Spring Hill.
Oh, Lord.
But to like really like glorify it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we did, and it ended up being really, really rad.
I believe it,
It's called South on 65.
Oh, Lord.
And this
I
last
know the
weekend,
way.
we shot a music video for it.
What? Where?
Like full-blown production.
In Spring Hill?
So in the song, we talk about like kayaking on the Duck River and like going to Froggy and Jeffro's, you know, so we just shot in all those locations.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
So actually, it's really cool. But we just shot it, so I don't know how it turned out. It's gonna, you know, we'll get it in a couple weeks or something.
Who shot it for you?
Ryan Lane, which he goes by Dreambeard on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
I just realized I'm chewing gum, and anytime I watch an interview that I did while I was chewing gum, I'm so bummed.
Here, bro.
I'm like, dude, you look like a camel.
Here, bro. I got you, brother. Come on, put that shit
Gotta
in there.
ditch it.
Boom, gone,
Thanks,
dude. That's how we do it here on Make It Perfect. You dig? I
I
love it.
love it, dude.
Hey, make sure you keep that gum. We'll put it on eBay.
Yeah, we'll auction it off. Matty Mullins gum.
I guess maybe like one of the reasons why I haven't really ever attempted painting is because, well, first of all, I don't believe in my ability to paint because I've never really had much of an artistic vision or whatever. But also
for painting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But also, it's an expensive hobby. So it's like if I'm not doing it with purpose or if I don't have the gift for it, then like why would I invest? I guess. But like right now, just watching the colors hit the canvas is really fun.
It feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's like you're pushing. To me, it's like I'm pushing my own flesh around in a way.
Yeah.
Like, and I've really got it. I was talking to Scoggin. He asked me. He thought that painting has been good for me, and on that last episode, I was like, no, it's not good for me.
Yeah,
you know,
I watched that episode.
Cool. I'm glad you did. But I kind of realized after I watched myself say that it's not true. Painting is like, I can't stop painting, and when I'm not painting, I feel like I'm not connected with myself in a higher ideal, you know. So Scoggin, if you watch this, appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
That's awesome. We toured with the Chariot.
Cool.
Like really early on in our career.
Yeah.
And that was a cool tour, man. It was when
He's a trip.
Stevis was with them and everything, and like, that dude's Stevis.
Oh, okay.
The guitar
Okay.
player. He was like
Yeah.
such an awesome live performer. And
Nice. Is he in the 333
Uh-huh.
now? Okay, okay,
yeah, so
okay,
that's what
okay.
he does now.
Got it. That shit is blowing up.
Yeah, it's popping, dude. It's kind of cool, huh?
What the deuce, man? What is it about it, do you think?
I think that, I mean, I always kind of look at things from a business perspective,
Yeah,
but I think
fair
that
enough.
the fact that they have a very Rage Against the Machine quality to their band, but were produced by John Feldman, which
Oh, I
is
didn't
like
oh, wow, I didn't know that.
as
Okay.
polished as it can get, right? I
That
mean,
makes
and
sense.
I love polished.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that when you take something like Rage that was already so popular and put a new twist on it, and then make it commercial friendly, you know, like
got it,
you're
yeah.
kind of unstoppable at that point, you
Well,
know, like
that's fair. Huh. Yeah, I think I can feel like I can relate to that. Like a, I don't know. It's kind of like when artsy bands, or let me rephrase that. It's kind of like when bands start out and all their vigor is in how scrappy and ruthless their first records are, and then it seems like get a taste of the fame, I guess, and the notoriety. It's like they want to maintain that, you know? And rightfully so. I get that. So I wonder if like that polished sound comes because it will just reach more folks, you know?
totally. And I mean, like Feldy, like aside from being a very polished producer, is like a brilliant songwriter.
Sure.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? So I think that he can take an idea that like embodies all that angst
Yep.
and the same message and make it something that anyone can listen to and enjoy.
Cool.
I've always wanted to work with Feldy, and we probably will on the next
There it is.
round of writing and
Heck yeah.
recording. So
Have you talked with him?
yeah, I mean, just in passing, I performed with Papa Roach at this award show.
Whoa,
and-
what was that shit like?
yeah, it's cool, man.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Feldy was there, and he just came up to me backstage afterwards, and he's like, "Yo, man, you can sing," which is like a huge compliment for me because the honest truth is that like I'm not a naturally born gifted singer like by any means.
Sure.
I've always just had something to say, and I've wanted to say it bad enough that I would do just about anything to do it. And
Sure.
so
Yeah.
I just basically learned what I needed to learn about singing enough to the point where people would take me seriously so I could get my message across.
Got it, dude.
You know?
Uh-huh.
So to hear something like that
Yep.
from such an iconic producer was pretty rad, you know?
That's cool, man. I definitely liked his a number of the records that he worked on.
Oh yeah, I mean, Story of the Year and The
Yep.
Used, and like, you got to think about those records, man. And it's like, at the time that those records came out, those genres were not commercial genres.
Yep.
But Feldy
Yep.
made it that way.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
He took someone like The Used and like Bert's voice, who is just like, it's
Part of me hates that.
you know, like, yeah, but think about what
Yeah,
it did for the genre,
Yeah,
and what
fair
it did
enough.
like for the awareness of that pocket of music. You know, like
Opened it up.
We just
Yeah.
this summer we just did a summer tour with The Used, and
How was that?
it was awesome. and
Cool.
you know, like it's so amazing to see those guys this much later in life killing it.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
seeing all these people that are in their, you know, 30s to 40s to 50s or whatever, that like those songs had a huge impact on their life.
Yeah.
And maybe they wouldn't have if they weren't so polished.
That's fair.
Maybe you wouldn't
Yeah.
have even given it a
That's a
chance.
good point. For sure.
If it didn't
Yeah.
sound great, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm
No,
not,
That's great. You
I don't know what I am, but I'm not a lot of things. Like I'm not,
I love
I'm
that.
not someone that like hates on,
Yeah.
you know, super polished anything or whatever. It's like, I actually enjoy a lot of that.
So, dude, is there anything that let me ask you this. So, is there any music that you despise, that you can't even deal with? You're like, oh my God, just come on, man. Come on.
I think like when I was in high school and everything, and I was getting picked on for
Sure.
being in bands and the kind of music that I played and stuff like that, I feel like I was always so anti anything mainstream and anything like jock related or
There you
whatever.
go.
But
Okay.
really, it was mainly just because I was insecure.
Sure.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And like
totally.
these days, there's really not much that I dislike if it's done well. But I will say, like, the whole, and there, you know, there's some artists that people would think are in this pocket that I don't think that I do love, but like the whole like mumble rap, SoundCloud rapper thing or whatever.
Copy. Yeah.
It's like,
I'm not a fan.
I don't want to hate on it or anything like that, but I mean, to me, dude, it sounds like Idiocracy. Like, you seen that movie?
Oh, for sure. He's taking a shit in the yeah,
it was
for
a
sure.
production.
Yeah.
It was a prediction. It wasn't even a fictional thing. It's like that's happening right now, dude. You know, like I don't get too heavily involved with politics, and I never talk about this stuff in interviews or whatever. But it's just like, you know, our president is undeniably making a fool of our country by saying the things that he does publicly and things like that. And that's like Idiocracy and mumble rap.
See that.
With lyrical content that has no meaning, that's, you know, selling millions of copies or streams or whatever, and it's like, it's just numbing people.
Unfortunate.
It's numbing people's brains. It's like, even if you don't like a song, at least there's artistic quality to it and like some sort of effort that was put into it, and I don't feel that way about that genre.
Hey,
but then,
that's fair, yeah.
You know, there's artists that exist somewhat in that realm, like Post Malone and stuff, that I feel like,
I dig that.
I think his voice is like
addictive,
you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And he, like, Post Malone grew up listening to Memphis Mayfire.
He got me into that.
Really?
Yeah, he really did. Oh, he did? I didn't know that.
So last time when he was in Nashville for like the Bud Light
dude.
dive bar tour or whatever, he direct messaged me on Twitter.
Cool.
And was like, I'm in Nashville, I want you to come out to the show. And I was like, okay.
You're like, all right, Posty.
So I went out, and it was crazy fun, dude.
Cool.
Like, it was a lot of fun, and I think that kid can really sing. Like, he's awesome, right?
I agree, man.
So I don't...
He's got an infectious smile.
Totally.
I want to say, Posty, if you hear that,
dude.
I'll kiss you.
I respect the fact that you can tell he's definitely put a lot of work into his craft, and his songwriting is awesome.
I think so, too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is nothing like mumble rap.
100%.
Nothing like it, you know?
But Luke put it on. He's like, just listen to it. And I was like, okay. So he listened to it, and when he hit those choruses, dude, I was like leveled because I'm like, this is beautiful.
It's really, really, it's really brilliant. Yeah, it really is.
It's heartfelt, even though he's talking about some things that typically you wouldn't think would be heartfelt or a struggle. And I'm just like, dude.
Even like the flex. I'm just gonna get paint on my clothes. I don't care.
Do it up.
Even like the flex kind of songs, like.
It's still on my nuts.
Yeah, it's still dope, dude. I still vibe it, you know. Yeah. But yeah, man. I really have been getting really into like really well written pop country. Dan and Shay, and like there's a band from Australia called Seaforth and stuff like that. That's just like more than anything just inspirational to me because I can tell how much effort went into painting a picture with the song. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like, I think country music does a better job than any other genre at really telling a story and making you tingle. You know what I mean?
Why do you think that?
I think that's the brand. That's the brand of country. You know, it's like, you know, it's there to make you feel exactly what they're talking about. Now, it's not that
that's a good
like you did, you know, you did As Cities Burn, and they did an incredible job at that. But not everybody in our genre can do that.
Sure. Wow, that's a good point, dude. That's a great point. And you know, there's something to be said about kicking back on the front porch and getting fucked up.
Yeah, sure, dude.
If that's how you're trying to roll, you know, like. But then I listened to those lyrics. This girl sent me a song by, my goodness, who? Oh my God, Florida Georgia Line or something like that.
Sure.
And which my preference is no way. So I listened to the song, and it was just it reaches that audience of like who, for all intents and purposes, live that life. And man, they nail it. And we can all connect to just sitting on the front porch hanging out. So boom, done. You know?
Totally.
I think where I fall off is when I hear a country song that is made by technicians rather than artists. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. You know, and you know, like the older I get, the less passionate I get about hating something or not liking something.
What does hating mean? I kind of want to know what you mean.
Like
by
when
that.
you hear a Florida Georgia Line song and you're like, I hate this.
Okay.
Because just I learned like, and I don't listen to FGL either, but I have a good friend that is a guitar tech for them.
Cool.
And just has nothing but incredible things to say about them as people.
Cool. Yeah.
And so I instantly gravitate towards just being like, man, I get down with FGL. Like it's not my genre, but I feel like in my younger years, I've wasted a lot of mental energy towards disliking something.
Dude, that's fair.
And it's like, it's not even, it doesn't affect them.
Yeah.
And it affects me negative. And, you know, like I would rather just be stoked for people, even if it's not something that I'm super into, and not to shut myself off to anything either. Like maybe it's something that I will get into. Maybe like
I like that.
rolling with the windows down in a big truck is like something that's really going to speak to me later in life, and I'm not going to waste any mental energy on hating it, but rather you know just
seeing it for what it is.
Yeah, and being stoked that it gets people stoked, I guess.
Cool.
You know?
What if what it is something that just utterly sucks? You know what I'm saying? Like preference-wise, as far as like there's some things that
like
I
mumble
just
rap.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Sure.
Yeah, there's some things that I just actually think is just diluted to the point of where I cannot handle this.
Totally.
You know? So how do you draw a distinction between hating on it and then stating a very concrete preference? Like
well, I think that what you're stating is that it's not doing for you what you want it to do for you. But to someone who is so mentally stressed out and has to think so much about everything that they do throughout the day or whatever, maybe they get in the car at the end of the day and they're like, I want to listen to something that's mindless.
Yes, yes.
I just want something playing in the background.
Yeah,
you know
I appreciate that, for sure, for sure.
I don't know, dude.
Come on. So, Jerry's Artorama, am I backlit? Okay. Jerry's Artorama in East Nashville sponsors our show, and we're very thankful for that. Because paint's expensive, and we use paint. And if you want to come over here and see all this glory, these glorious colors in the sun, over there on Main Street, Jerry's Artorama in East Nashville, go in there. When you go in there, tell them tell them that we sent you, so it'll help our plight to have a sponsorship. Amanda, Hannah, and Marshall, among other great folks in there, will help you out and talk to you like you're a human being in an art store trying to figure it out. So when you go in there, when I went in there, I walk in there and I'm like, I'm an artist in an art store, dude. Don't even ask me what I need because I already fucking know. I don't like doing that anymore because sometimes I don't know what I need and they have information on what I might need. Jerry's Artorama in East Nashville. Go over there and bring your sandwich in there and you can probably eat it. Dude, I was on the break, I was talking about I have a show coming up and I was nervous about it.
Yeah.
And Luke, can you come in here? Yeah. Okay, so I pointed out to Matty that this could have been a testicle and then I was like, well, maybe I should just paint a penis. So then I tried to make, it kind of looks like a weird Vlasic pickle. So maybe I need to put now some wrinkles in there. And then, and hey man, quit judging me. And then I'm just gonna go like this. Come on up here. This is how you make it perfect. I'm done.
And now it's worth 500 grand.
Thank you. Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. So anyway, I have this show coming up at Fort Houston over by the highway.
Yeah.
And the curator asked me to do an interpretive work show of this Baroque style painter named Peter Paul Rubens. He was one of the masters. And dude, he would paint this perfect.
Really?
And you wouldn't be able to see any of the brush strokes. It's just so righteously beautiful. And I feel like he really bridged the gap between humanity, heaven, and hell. It's beautiful. I'll show you afterward.
Okay, definitely.
So I'm over here being like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. Any chance I can get to further what I'm doing, which, yes, that's number one. And then after I started thinking, I'm like, how the hell am I going to try to interpret this dude's work when it is so utterly gorgeous, you know?
Yeah, sure.
And then I kept thinking and talked to a few people that I, would not bullshit me and be like,
sure.
yo, dude, keep working on that. But everybody was like, why don't you just do it? And I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm a little nervous about it, but if I get, if we set up the show and it's just, it'll be what it'll be.
Dude, I mean,
experiment,
You'll kill it.
Thank you. I hope so. We'll see.
I get in my head about stuff all the time.
God, man. Does it make you want to like Scoggin was talking about never releasing the music that, you know, he's in his head about.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you experienced that too a little.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you know, I think the honest truth is like I've written a lot of. There's been a good amount of our music that's been autobiographical, but then a good amount, I would say majority maybe, that's been about other people that I've seen or observed or loved and what they've gone through. And I think that makes it easier for me to put out music. It's like not so much a piece of me, but rather a piece of something that I think the world could benefit from.
Sure. Yeah.
And and I guess maybe that sounds egotistical, like what I write, the world could benefit from.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Do you know what he means?
Yeah. I want, you know, I think, I don't know what, you know, fuels Scoggin to write and what he writes about, but for me, it's just, I think it would be a lot harder if I was writing, you know, about everyday, like really tough stuff. You
Copy.
know? And
like pertaining to your life?
Yeah, pertaining to my life.
Yeah,
you know, we put out a record called Unconditional that was like very much, the majority of it was very much about me and my struggle. And it was a really hard record to write. It was a really hard record to put out, and it's still really hard to play those songs live.
Got it. Do you play them live?
Yeah,
excellent.
we do. Yeah,
Cool.
because they're
Very
some of my
cool.
favorites. But like my sister is an amazing therapist and has a.
You mentioned her.
Yeah.
When we hung out.
Yeah, she has a facility, a nonprofit for counseling in Franklin called the Refuge Center for Counseling.
I've been there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So during that season, she was really helpful to me because I would call her and she would just give me really sound advice when I was in a season where I wasn't thinking clearly. She would, you know, she just told me, I was like, Amy, I don't feel like I can write about anything but what I'm struggling with right now because it's all I can think about.
Yeah, sure.
And
consuming.
But in that season, I was like, I don't want people to know this about me because they look up to me or because
that's reasonable.
You know, I don't want them to like if when they think about me, if they feel good, then if I give them something really bad, then maybe when they think about me, they're going to feel bad. And I don't want to trigger some emotion in someone else that I'm feeling. And what if I get past this in a month from now and I don't even want to remember that it ever existed and there's this piece of music out there that lives on forever that's like, you know. And she was just like, she just said, you know, the most important thing that you can do with your platform is to be honest.
Ah, yeah. Thank you, Amy. Jeez,
and so I did. So I was honest and I was honest about both aspects. I was honest about what it's like to have crippling panic attacks. And I was also honest about my newfound understanding of the creator of the universe loving each individual person so deeply, you know? And so we have this metalcore record that's about panic attacks and about Jesus. And it's like...
They go hand in
you know
hand.
what I mean?
They just do.
You wouldn't think it makes for a good record, but
dude.
it really did, man.
Excellent. Yeah, dude.
And so yeah, I'm proud of it. And I feel like I should probably dig deeper into those spaces to write every time that I write, but maybe part of me is just...
It's scary.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's fucking terrifying,
yeah.
man.
So I guess that's the answer. Maybe Josh does a better job at always writing from fragile places, and I don't. But
I think, dude, from my observation of what he was saying is that a lot of times he writes like the rock and roll lyric, you know?
Yeah.
And he allows from what I gathered, he allows the audience to connect to it, whatever they do.
Interpret whatever.
Yeah. And I write a lot like you wrote on Unconditional. Like,
sure.
Because I'm deathly afraid of what people think of me. And I can, and one of my strengths as a human being is I can be pretty vulnerable pretty quick, and sometimes that pushes people away because it's like, yo, hey, how are you? Oh yeah, well, sometimes I look at porn and have a hard time with that, you know, and like from the cuff, and then but honestly, sometimes I think I use it as a defense mechanism to see what I'm dealing with in people, and that's part of a inferiority part of my ego, and I'm you know,
I hear that, dude. I just wish I was I lost a friend
you mentioned that.
to suicide just maybe a week ago or so.
No way, I didn't know it was that fresh.
And he was an advocate for suicide prevention, for hope, you know, like just an expert on depression and how to fight it and things like that. And I just feel like I'm saying this because you said that when you meet someone, you're just immediately honest and open.
I try to be.
And I think that's so awesome, regardless of how it makes the other person feel.
Fair.
But I think that
That's
you will
cool.
find the people in your life that want to know those things.
Totally, dude.
And I think that
That's a good statement.
a big problem with the spotlight or a platform of any kind is that we get so used to being the one that has the answer that we either A, don't want to admit when we're struggling or when we don't have the answer, or B, nobody even would expect it. So no one comes up beside you to champion you because they're just like, oh, he's the guy that has all the answers. He's the guy that has all the advice. And I just wish that in culture, and in Christian culture especially, that we could literally be open and honest with everybody and be like, I am struggling with this right now. And instead of any fear whatsoever of someone judging you or someone thinking less of you, just knowing that in this community, people are here for you and want you to be your best and want you to live.
Yeah.
And I just,
Hey.
and I think fame is a lonely place to be.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
think
can imagine, yeah.
Either it's a lonely place to be, or you every single day you risk losing everything that you've built.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just want that, man. I just want honesty. I just want people to be open about what they're dealing with and to not claim to have won a victory that they have not won yet.
Yeah, that sounds really great. Yeah.
Let's be honest. And it's like, even if you went through something and you got to the other side of it and you helped somebody with it and then you're dealing with it again, talk about it.
That's okay.
It's okay to deal with it again. You know?
We're fallible.
Yeah.
Thank God we're fallible.
Yeah.
You know, Kendrick Lamar has that lyric, "Nobody praying for me."
Yeah. Totally.
When I heard that, it took me a second. I'm like, oh my God, that's right. Who the hell prays for Kendrick Lamar? I'm sure some people do.
Sure.
But on the grand scheme, we want to connect to their insight.
Yeah.
And dude, people want to connect to your insight and to my insight as an artist, you know? And it's like, and you mentioned something earlier of how you want them to have a good view of you and feel positive about you. You don't want to make them feel bad or anything like that.
Not so much about how, yeah.
Let me say this real quick.
Yeah.
So, but I'm wondering if you put something out that is potentially confronting for people's belief systems, and their psychological states, I wonder if they would know you, they would be really interested in knowing you more. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I wonder if that, like, but putting yourself on the line like that and talking about things that you're afraid of, you deal with, that just consume you, man, that's power. To me, that's power.
I guess, dude. I don't know. I mean, I worry about, like, I want to talk and I want to be open about everything, but, like, is there something to say for the fact that, like, so mental health awareness and...
Finish your thought there. Were you going to finish your thought? What were you saying?
Yeah,
there?
it's...
Okay.
At what point does talking about it and being open about it no longer help and start becoming a trigger for people, if that's the case?
Is that your responsibility?
No.
Okay.
But
I understand why you feel that way.
Is it my sole responsibility to also be the one always spreading awareness? And I don't know, dude. I just like...
I think you're saying some brilliant things here, man.
I just want to... I'm never going to assume that any of my friends are okay ever again.
Copy.
I guess is where I'm at.
That sounds great.
And then I don't know where to go from there. But I'm never going to assume that they're okay. And I'm always going to check in on friends. And,
Can we check in on you? Can we check in on you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's great.
Do I give you full authority to check in on me?
Cool.
Yeah,
excellent. I need it too, dude. That's why I'm saying, you know?
Totally.
Like,
I keep trying to figure out if I want to add anything more to this.
You need to.
And I just don't know how to get the point across anymore.
So the way to get the point across, from my experience, is to use a finer brush.
Okay.
And let yourself make some lines, some words. Maybe draw an intimation of a flower, or like a sun, or like some kind of green landscape at the bottom. You know, I like how you. It's really interesting. What do you think about the X? What is the X? Do you think?
It's a choice.
Okay. And it's on the left side in the blue.
Mm-hmm.
What's coming up for you for there?
I think that what I'm realizing more than anything, like in this season, having gone through what I've gone through and and being in the season that I'm in, I think that fear and anxiety and depression is a parallel road to joy and freedom and happiness.
I agree.
I think that they both always exist, always.
Do they intersect?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, great.
Because you can't control it 100%.
Yes.
But I think that you can choose to live in the realm of freedom and hope and joy, but it has to be a daily choice. It has to be something that you choose every morning. So when you become cynical and you wake up every day, which is a very easy place to be.
Look at the bags on mine.
Every day you wake up and you're like, God, another day.
Oh,
Here we go again. You know what I mean? That's a choice that you made.
Yeah, I agree.
And anyone around you that's happy or exuding joy becomes someone that's just fake.
Like an oppressor.
And I want to fight that and say that my joy is no less real than your cynicism.
Fair enough, dude. Yeah,
and
I appreciate that.
So to anyone in my life, you know, choose joy and find out just how real it is. Every morning it becomes a choice. Every day, with everything you do, with even if it's like, you know, forgiving someone that hurt you a lot, and you're learning how to accept an apology you never got, or whatever. It's like,
that's tough for me.
Choosing living in a space of joy and freedom, and we're going to, and I know what to add now.
Okay,
and
that's where I love that.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
That's cool. That's a cool thing to observe.
Beautiful, dude.
I bet that'll be really cool to watch and see you.
It's like the spark hit, you know?
That's super cool. I love
Matty, I like that. I like how you speak about joy, and I appreciate that. And I need more of that in my life, man. And
I think like existing for so long, you know, it's been 11 years I've been touring in rock music and heavy music and stuff like that. And I think that
it's a dark place to be.
It can be, you know. We find a lot of joy. We find a lot of freedom and peace in just getting to know the people that listen to our music and encouraging them and knowing that it's encouraging.
Cool.
But I think that oftentimes, so often in that world, like, it's not just that your darkness is accepted, but more so that your darkness is glorified.
Ah, there you go, dude. Totally.
So when we start to put pain on a pedestal, you know, and it's like, well, this makes a better rock song. And it's like, well,
I guess it could.
I mean, I'm all for being honest. I'm all for being honest in every season, but it's like, if you're going to write a song about how bad it hurts, please also write a song about how good it feels to get past it.
Yeah, dude, yeah, it's fair. Yeah, I like that.
You know?
Yes,
and I guess maybe that's just like I exist in rock music, but I grew up on Christian contemporary music, and it's all very positive, and so I still go back to that sometimes just when my soul needs it.
Sure.
And I have a side project that's kind of that lives in that world as well.
What's it called?
Just my name. I've put out a couple records under my name that are that, and it's very important to me, but it's not something that I will pursue full time or anything like that. I think God's really given me the platform that I have in rock music for a reason, and I want to be faithful with that platform and continue to use it however I can.
Yeah. I like that. I like that you mentioned, you know, if you're going to write a song about all the pain, write a song about how you get past it.
Yeah, I think that sometimes a painful song can actually be really healing. It can actually,
for sure,
you know, it'll make someone realize that they're not alone.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
But even if you don't write a song that's happy, even if you don't, you know what I mean? Like,
or just encouraging, even.
Just
maybe
at least admit it when you get to the point in your life where you've figured something out or you've overcome something. At least talk about that too.
Share it for the rest of us.
Totally.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. I connect to that, and what comes up for me is when I spend a lot of time. I really like. I recently got into Tool in A Perfect Circle, and you know that new.
I applaud you for that, dude. That's
cool.
I feel like that's very. I don't get it.
Totally cool. Yeah.
So I'm like anyone that I meet that's like super into Tool or anything like that. I'm just like, you must be smarter than me. Is what comes up, because I'm like, I literally can't get through one song without being like, my brain hurts, like physically hurts. You know.
You know, I did that. I ferociously opposed and did dislike Tool or Maynard for most of my life, and then when I turned, I don't know, 40 maybe, I started to connect with a certain song he wrote as far as the lyrics are concerned. And I notice that I really have to use caution when and this is my experience, I really have to use caution when I listen to certain songs by Tool, because the concepts he talks about and the way he delivers his message hits a spot in me that will take me to that septic place in me. Now let me say this. I think going to the most septic place in yourself you can find, looking at it with holding up a complex mirror to yourself when you're in that spot, and then rising, and when I mean rising about this, I mean not allowing yourself to become embittered about your own connection to the putrid parts of humanity. Mm-hmm. If you can rise away from that, still keeping it in mind, to me, that is really helpful in connecting to humanity's really dark parts. So it goes along so I have to be careful when I listen to them, because man, the way that he articulates himself just hits me so square in the frickin' soul.
As long as you're able to, you know, self-evaluate when you have those feelings and figure out where it's coming from, and then benefit from it.
There you go.
By growing from it, to eliminate those places, right? Or to eliminate to understand the feelings, so that they don't, not eliminate, but to understand them so that they don't affect you negatively.
There you go.
That's cool, but I'm always really careful to not.
I think it's smart to do that.
To not, you know, I think it can be smart as long as you are stable enough and, you know, or as long as you have the knowledge of what it takes to use it the right way.
I think that's great.
Like,
yes.
I think if you listen to something, if you choose to listen to something that puts you in a dark place and you don't understand how to get out, then
you'll just repeat it.
Yeah.
It seems that way. Yeah, but on the other hand, when I listen to like very delusionally positive Christian music, and
totally,
and allow me to say this too,
please,
like happy, joy, like it makes me, I don't want to say it makes me do anything, but it leads me to a place of, well, it should be like this all the time. And so I become ideological in being like, if I'm not 100% this, then I'm 100% that.
Sure.
And that's what I have a hard time breaking, when my thoughts split like that, you know? So I appreciate that you say
What are you on the Enneagram? Do you know anything about the Enneagram?
4.
You're 4?
Yeah, 4.
I don't know much about it, but I know
okay.
that I'm a 6 wing 7.
What does that mean? What is that?
I don't know.
Okay.
My sister told me that. My sister is a therapist.
Cool.
She was like, oh, you're such a 6, but you have a wing 7.
Oh, okay,
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it's the,
cool.
if I remember correctly, it's the loyalist.
Okay.
Maybe
Ooh.
the enthusiast?
Let's look
I don't
it up.
know. Okay, so
cool.
Basically, I think that I do desire for everything to be sweet all the time.
Fair. Oh,
I want that.
Yeah.
Like, I really do want that. So
I appreciate
even
that.
though that's probably, you know, not healthy either, but
okay.
Maybe that's something that I love about Christian music is like, it is a constant reminder that no matter what is happening, that God is good. He was the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And that's an undying, never-ending message of hope. Our life can go like this, but God remains constant. I do believe that. And there's joy in that. There's joy in knowing that God remains constant.
What is how do you can you articulate the how you find joy in God being constant? Because you can't control life, right? And I think that one of the reasons why I hate flying so much is that it's probably a control thing. You know what I mean? Like, for sure.
Fear of falling, control. Like, I'm not in control of a situation or whatever. And it's like you can't control life, and people around you are going to pass away, and things are going to be painful, and you're going to be hurt, and you're going to go through dark seasons.
Yeah.
And so the one thing that remains constant. My relationship with God and my foundation in Him and what I believe for my future and for eternity is always foundational. It's always steady.
Got it.
So my mom always says, like, you know, when I was younger, like I was a risk taker, and my bands when I was, you know, 14 and 15, we used to like get in a van and just like tour around like the Northwest and do
Love
like
it.
regional shows and stuff like that. And she was always so worried about me, and I was like, Mom, it's gonna be okay. And she was like, I think that what you found peace in was that I was never taking risk. I was always home, and you knew that anytime you came back, I would be here and I would remain constant. And that is so true. Dude, like I had so much peace in just knowing that my mom was going to be the same that she always had been and everything, you know, and she's like dude, my mom is so like patient. And
What's her name?
Kathy.
Kathy.
She's patient.
Hey,
and
Kathy.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's a very common mom name, I think.
Yeah.
She's calm. And dude, she really loves the Lord, dude, like in more ways than just on the out, you know.
I believe it.
So anyways,
it's good to hear that. It's a place of like refuge and nurturing.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah,
I don't know what that stems from or what, you know, like the theory or whatever. I just am that's something that I knew, and so I think that I can take risks in life, and I can enjoy things, and I can always find the positive in what as long as, you know, like I have what's constant and what's steady. And
So are you saying I think I'm asking questions so I can understand.
Totally.
You know?
Please.
So, okay.
Please do.
So
and maybe when I explain it, I'll understand better too.
cool. That's great. Yeah, we're in the same boat.
Yeah.
I like it. So are you saying that you're relating the way that you feel about your mom and the consistency of her nurturing and love? Is there a transference of that feeling to the way that you feel God loves you?
Absolutely.
Okay, second question. How do you experience that love from something that is unseen?
That's a really tough one. I love that you asked that, dude.
Cool.
It's so awesome. I think that God reveals himself through, and here, let me start by saying this.
Yeah.
I am going to answer that question, but let me start by saying, like, nothing irks me more in this season of life than when Christian people say Christian things just to say Christian things.
Oh, copy. Got it.
I hate it.
Yeah, cool.
I absolutely hate it.
Surely.
And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about not claiming victory that you haven't won yet. But here's an honest statement, an honest answer to your question.
Yes.
I see, feel, hear, touch the love of God through other people. That's how God speaks to us, is through other people.
That's great.
So do I believe
that is great.
In hearing the audible voice of God giving you a specific direction on where to go in life? No, I don't. But that's just because I haven't personally.
Sure. Yeah, neither have I. What about an intuition? That intuition in here.
The still small voice
there you go.
is what people would call that. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Do you ever feel
I like
that intuition?
I like to be spoken to loud and
there you go. Heck yeah.
So I hear it.
Yeah, that's great.
I hear it.
That's great.
And see it and feel it from people in my life that genuinely love me, that I trust.
Boom.
I had a friend the other day on the day that I lost my buddy.
Sorry to hear that, by the way.
I had posted something in regards to it, and so I had gotten a lot of text messages from friends, and I got a text from one guy. He's like, "Hey man, how you doing?" And I was just like, "I'm all right, man. Like, just kind of going through the motions here and trying to figure out how to process this. I don't really know how." He's like, "Well, what are you talking about?" And this is someone I haven't talked to in months.
Yep.
And I was like, "Oh, sorry. I just had assumed that you'd seen what I posted, and you know, I lost a friend, and so on and so forth." And we got into a conversation that was really beautiful and really beneficial, and it was so obvious that God, to me, it was so obvious that God had prompted them to text me in that moment, and that happens so often in my life.
Yeah.
And I need those reminders, but I really did feel like in that moment, like I felt like God's hand was on my shoulder, just saying, "I know that none of this makes sense, and I know that it hurts, and it's okay for you to be sad.
There you go.
But I am here. I'm here.
Done. Yeah.
And let that be enough." And I get those reminders all the time. Dude, I'm like a little bummed on my color choices. It's definitely fruitier than I wanted it to be.
You got that fluorescent
Very,
in there, bro.
yeah, like
yeah, dude.
I don't know if this is my feelings or if I'm at Laser Quest.
Hey, maybe they're both, bro. You know what I'm saying? Tell us about it. What do you got?
So I think that what you said earlier is about can you be in both? Can you live in hope and joy and freedom and darkness and anxiety and fear. And yeah, I mean, as much as I don't like to admit it, the answer is yes, it's always there every day.
Got it.
Right?
Yeah.
But I do think that this is a choice.
Okay.
And I do think that this is just as real. And I think that I started so much here and I've ended up so much more here, but this is kind of an ongoing thing that always will happen. And I think that in dark seasons, I'll end up a lot more on this side.
Got it.
And I'll have to continue to choose, but I think that they kind of are always one. And they all are always both in existence. But this is truth to me.
That's where you want to be. Got it.
And I'm still working on it, dude.
No, it's great. You're doing really good.
Probably
man.
going to grab pink next, dude.
I can't even tell you, man. This is my friend Matty Mullins from Memphis Mayfire, and we're happy to have him here. And Matty, side hug.
Dude,
Hug.
this is awesome.
Very cool. Thank you.
This
man.
is very
Appreciate
cool.
you
Yeah.
coming, man.
My painting sucks, but
It's okay.
it's also perfect.
There you go. Man, it just works every time.
But
man.
we're, you know, like, it's just a cool experience. I've actually literally never painted anything ever, so
I'm glad you're here, man.
it's just, yeah, it's cool. Appreciate it.
You're
man.
expressing something. And you were talking about your room when you were younger and the colors and stuff.
Yeah, dude. So like when I had this green under the brown there, and
Yeah.
I was like, man, this literally looks like exactly, if my mom watches this, she'll be like, he's right. We had like this blue and green and yellow, like kind of like oddly shaped like wall design.
Yeah.
And I had a little recording studio in my closet, and so I moved all my clothes into my brother's room and stuff. And anyways, it looked a lot like that. And so I don't know what lives in me that's blue and green and black, but
Nice.
the more we learn and the older we get, we shouldn't grow more cynical. We shouldn't, like,
I
the
think
older
that's
we
great.
get, you know what I mean? It's like, I
Totally.
feel like everyone talks about, oh, I've been
Damn.
there and I've done that, and like, you know, all this kind of
Okay.
stuff. It's like, we should grow towards being happier and
Yeah.
happier no matter what you believe.
I agree with
you know
that,
what I mean?
dude. Yep, I think that's good for sure.
You know what's crazy, dude, is
What do you
like,
got? What do
I
you got?
wanted gray over
Yeah.
there, but I didn't see a bottle that looked gray.
Yep.
And I started mixing the green and the brown and the white and the black and everything, and
You got
it
the
became
gray.
gray.
Nice.
Dude.
Yeah, that's
It's
great.
gray.
It's magic.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, that's cool.
That's gray, bro. And I made it from a bunch of random crap.
Boom, dude. Boom.
And now these lines are going to be the color I actually want them to be.
That's great. Dude, I'm kind of digging my vibe here now, man. I wasn't liking it.
I'm
but
super into yours.
thanks, dude. It reminds me of a goddamn Pop-Tart too much, though. You know, like the shape of it. But it's
I don't
okay.
get Pop-Tart from it at all.
Cool.
I'm about to add pink dots
Let's
to my
do it,
Dalmatian
bro.
dots and just
Yeah.
No
Man up. My inclination is to just destroy this now.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of want to just take black and just. I think. Oh man,
That'd be kinda
that's
cool.
like.
I'm thinking about doing the same thing.
Cool.
Dude. Let's do something crazy to both of them.
Hey, oh man, I've never said this.
Yeah. Your painting sucks. That's what you're gonna say to me. You're
No,
like, I'm just kidding.
no.
You're like, I've never said this, but dude, you
No.
actually ruined a perfectly good
Oh
canvas.
no. Maybe I should do that every once in a while, but not today. Not today. I have suggested. I've told you this. We trade paintings and paint on them. But when
Yes.
okay, you want to do that?
Yes, but you have said that before. Or this is the first time you've ever done that.
That's the first time. The first time I've ever done it. I've only told him, not on video.
Yeah.
Like we've had the idea to do
Yeah.
it before, never.
Because that's scary to me. That is scary to me.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I cannot wait to
Okay.
see how you fix mine.
Okay. All right.
All right, cool.
Let me say this real quick.
Yes.
It's not every time when we're working in here that I actually like the painting I'm working on.
Yeah.
And I like this painting I'm working on, but it is the spirit of the collaborative effort
Yeah.
that I want to push even further.
Yeah.
By how do I say this? By handing over my precious. Do you see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Even though
totally.
it's been what? It's been an hour 23. Let's go. Work on your own work, man. I'm trying to get your beautiful gray off here, dude. No offense.
That's okay.
Oh gosh. Taking on a big day. Excuse. Oh shoot. Oh, that's killer, dude. I want you to touch me like that. Not even looking, dude. What if I did that on you? I kind of want to start dancing, dude.
Yeah?
Like,
Let's go.
Well, I'm nervous to dance. I get it.
I don't know how to dance. My wife's so good at dancing.
Nice, man. This looks like a straight up swastika when I look at it. Come here.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying a little bit?
But
look at me. It's not a swastika. Okay, cool.
dude, to be completely honest with you, I don't know why I feel this way.
Yep.
But nothing is making me happier than you painting over.
Cool.
Got black on
Yeah,
it.
hit it. Okay, yeah, great. That's great.
And I'm actually really excited about what I've done to your painting.
Let's see what we got. Dude, that's killer. All right. Hey.
I like it.
I do too. I feel like you added dimension to it.
I don't feel bad for what I did to your painting.
Good.
And that
Thank
feels
you.
good.
Yeah, good. No reason to. If we're in an effing spaceship and these are closing in and we need to get through to fucking wherever the never-ending story,
That's
dude, we
cool.
can make it.
We can
You know what I'm
definitely make it,
saying?
yeah.
We could get there. We can go.
I like it a lot.
I don't know what happened, and I feel like you worked quicker than me and made something happen. I just put some red lines and scraped a little bit.
I like
Cool.
it. It
Thanks,
makes me
dude.
feel so much better. It makes me feel like it's actually a piece of art now. And not just some weird subconscious recreation of my 7-year-old
That's
bedroom.
cool too, though. Yeah. Yes.
But this is cool, dude.
Thanks, dude.
This is super cool. And I love this now.
Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too. That looks cool.
And-
I loved watching you do it because it was just
It was fun, dude.
Did it make you feel, you said you like things to be neat.
Yes.
Was it gratifying to get your fingers in the paint a
No,
little
I
bit?
hated it.
You,
I don't like that. Yeah.
Yes.
I
Now
don't even
we're
like
living.
it when I have to put
Yeah.
sunscreen on. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Like just
dude.
the feeling
Oily.
of like anything, touching
dude.
greasy stuff.
Freaks you out.
But
Me too.
I feel lucky because I had that idea right away.
Yes, and you went for it.
And it actually looks as cool as I thought it was going to in
Cool.
my head.
Nice.
But it wouldn't be cool if it wasn't for all the rad
Well,
background
boom,
stuff.
dude. That's a collabby, you know?
love it, dude.
Oh, yeah, dude. Thank you.
Thank you. Man.
Yes. Hey, this has been Make It Perfect. Matty
Yeah.
Mullins. And
We actually did make them perfect.
Yeah, we did, dude.
Yeah,
we did
thank
what we
God.
could,
This
man.
is
I love
awesome.
it.
Thank
And
you.
thank you again, man.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Make It Perfect Show. What is it again? Instagram, Make It Perfect Show. Yeah. And then makeitperfectshow@gmail.com. In case Lems
Yeah, right. Let's go.
Lems is wanting to give us a sponsorship. This is my umpteenth pair of Lems, and
Dude.
that's what we want on this
Yes.
show. You dig?
Matty, you got a band name.
Oh yeah.
My band is called Memphis Mayfire, and we're always doing stuff, so check us out on the interwebs.
I love it, dude. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
cool.
you guys.
That's cool.